A billionaire's son. A poor girl with nothing. Their worlds should never have met. But when love finds a way, nothing stays the same. When the truth finally came out, no one was ready for what happened next. Sit back, relax, and find out as we delve into this emotional story. In the heart of Lagos, there lived a young man named Michael. His father, Mr. Richard, was one of the wealthiest men in Nigeria. People called him a business titan. Their mansion stood tall in Ikoyi, with gates made of gold-plated iron and a fountain that never stopped flowing. But inside that grand house, Michael felt empty. He had everything money could buy: cars, designer clothes, expensive watches. But his heart was restless. His father wanted him to marry Isabella, the daughter of another wealthy family. Isabella was beautiful, educated, and refined. But Michael did not love her. Every time his father mentioned her name, Michael's chest tightened. "Father, I am not ready for marriage," he would say quietly. Mr. Richard would shake his head. "You are 26 years old, Michael. It is time. Isabella is perfect for you, perfect for our family name." But Michael knew something his father did not understand. He did not want perfect. He wanted real. One hot afternoon, Michael decided to leave the mansion. He told his driver to stay behind. "I want to walk today," he said. The driver looked confused, but he nodded. Michael stepped out of the compound and walked down the busy streets of Lagos. The noise was loud. The sun was hot, and the smell of roasted plantain filled the air. He walked past traders shouting, past children playing football on the roadside, past women carrying baskets on their heads. Then he saw her. A young girl sat on a wooden bench under a large tree, selling pure water in small plastic bags. Her clothes were faded, her slippers were worn out, but her face was calm. She was not shouting like the other traders. She just sat there quietly, waiting. Michael stopped walking. He did not know why, but something about her made him pause. He walked toward her slowly. "Good afternoon," he said. She looked up at him. Her eyes were soft, gentle. "Good afternoon, sir. Do you want to buy water?" Michael nodded. "Yes, how much?" 20 naira for one bag." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a 500 naira note. "Keep the change," he said. Her eyes widened. "Sir, this is too much," Michael smiled. "It's okay. You can keep it." She hesitated, then slowly took the money. "Thank you, sir. God bless you." Michael opened the bag of water and drank. The water was cold and refreshing. He stood there for a moment, not knowing what to say. Then he asked, "What is your name?" She looked down shyly. "My name is Mercy." "Mercy," Michael repeated softly. "That is a beautiful name." She smiled a little. "Thank you." Michael wanted to stay longer, but he did not know how. So he just nodded and said, "I will see you again." Then he walked away. But as he walked, he kept turning back to look at her. And Mercy kept watching him, too. The next day, Michael came back. And the day after that. And the day after that. Every afternoon, he would walk to the same spot under the tree. Mercy would smile when she saw him. They began to talk more. She told him about her life. She lived in a small one-room apartment in a jeganal with her younger brother, Emmanuel. Their parents had died in a car accident 3 years ago. Mercy had to drop out of school to take care of Emmanuel. She sold pure water during the day and washed clothes at night to make money. Michael listened carefully. His heart broke for her. "You are very strong," he said one day. Mercy shook her head. "I am just trying to survive." Michael looked at her closely. "No, you are stronger than you think." She smiled softly, and Michael felt something warm in his chest. He was falling in love with her, but he did not tell her, not yet. One evening, as the sun was setting, Michael sat beside her on the bench. The sky was orange and purple. Mercy looked at him and asked quietly, "Why do you keep coming here?" Michael paused. He looked at her, then at the ground. "Because," he said slowly, "when I am with you, I feel like myself. Not like someone's son. Not like someone's future husband. Just me." Mercy's eyes softened. She did not say anything, but she understood. From that day, their bond grew deeper. They talked about dreams, about pain, about hope. Michael told her about the pressure from his father. Mercy told him about her fears for Emmanuel's future. They became each other's safe place. And slowly, quietly, love bloomed between them. Weeks passed. Michael could not stay away from Mercy, but he kept their friendship a secret from his father. He knew Mr. Richard would never approve. One afternoon, Michael decided to take Mercy and Emmanuel to a small restaurant. It was not a fancy place, but it was clean and warm. Mercy hesitated at first. "Michael, this is too much," she said. Michael shook his head. "You deserve good things, Mercy. Both of you." Emmanuel, who was only 12 years old, smiled wide. "Thank you, Brother Michael." They sat together and ate jollof rice, fried chicken, and plantain. Emmanuel laughed and talked about school. Mercy watched her brother with tears in her eyes. She had not seen him this happy in years. After they had finished eating, Michael walked them home. When they reached the small compound in Nigerian, Mercy turned to him. "Thank you for today," she said softly. "You made my brother so happy." Michael looked into her eyes. "Mercy, I need to tell you something." She waited. Her heart beat faster. Michael took a deep breath. "I love you." Mercy's eyes widened. Her lips trembled. "Michael, you cannot." "Why not?" he asked. She looked down. "Because I am poor. You are rich. Your father will never accept me." Michael stepped closer. "I don't care what my father thinks. I care about you." Mercy shook her head slowly. Tears filled her eyes. "Michael, please, don't make this harder." But Michael held her hand gently. "Mercy, I am not asking you to decide now. I am just telling you the truth. I love you, and I will wait for you." Mercy looked at him, her heart full of fear and hope. Then she whispered, "I love you too." And in that quiet moment, under the dim streetlight, their love became real. But love is never easy. The next week, Mr. Richard found out. One of his security men had seen Michael with Mercy. He reported it immediately. That evening, Mr. Richard called Michael into his study. His face was cold, hard. "Sit down," he said. Michael sat. "I heard you have been seeing a girl. A poor girl from Nigerian." Michael's jaw tightened. "Her name is Mercy." Mr. Richard slammed his hand on the table. "I don't care what her name is. You will stop seeing her immediately." "No," Michael said firmly. Mr. Richard's eyes widened. "What did you say?" Michael stood up. "I said no, Father. I love her, and I will not stop seeing her." Mr. Richard's voice rose. "You are my son. You will marry Isabella. That is final." Michael shook his head. "I will never marry Isabella. I do not love her." "Love?" Mr. Richard laughed bitterly. "Love does not build empires, Michael. Marriage is about alliances, about power, about securing our future. Then build your empire without me," Michael said quietly. He turned and walked toward the door. "If you walk out of that door," Mr. Richard called, "you are no longer my son." Michael stopped. His hand was on the door handle. He did not turn around. "Then I am no longer your son," he said. And he walked out. Mr. Richard stood there, frozen. His pride was stronger than his love, and Michael's heart was stronger than his fear. Michael did not return home that night. He went to a small hotel and stayed there. The next morning, he went to see Mercy. When she opened the door, she saw the pain in his eyes. "What happened?" she asked. Michael told her everything. Mercy's face became pale. "Michael, you should not have done that. You should not have fought with your father because of me." Michael held her shoulders gently. "Mercy, I did not fight because of you. I fought because I want to be free. Free to choose. Free to love." Mercy began to cry. "But what will you do now? Where will you stay?" Michael smiled softly. "I will find a way. As long as I have you, I will be fine." Mercy wiped her tears. "You can stay here," she said quietly. "With me and Emmanuel." Michael looked around the small room. It was so different from his mansion, but it felt like home. "Are you sure?" he asked. Mercy nodded. "Yes, we will manage together." And so, Michael moved in with Mercy and Emmanuel. He slept on a mat on the floor. He ate simple meals. He washed his own clothes. For the first time in his life, he lived like an ordinary man. And he was happy. Months passed. Michael found work as a sales assistant in a small electronics shop. It was not much, but it was honest work. Mercy continued selling pure water. Emmanuel went to school every day. They were poor, but they were together, and that was enough. One evening, as they sat together eating rice and stew, Emmanuel looked at Michael and said, "Brother Michael, do you miss your old life?" Michael paused. He looked at Mercy, then at Emmanuel. "No," he said honestly. "I do not miss it, because this right here is real. That life was just gold and emptiness." Mercy smiled. Her eyes shone with quiet love. Meanwhile, Mr. Richard sat alone in his big mansion. He had everything, but he felt nothing. His son was gone. His pride had cost him the only person who truly mattered. One night, his old friend, Chief Samuel, came to visit. They sat together drinking whiskey. "I heard your son left," Chief Samuel said. Mr. Richard nodded silently. "He chose a poor girl over you," Chief Samuel continued. "He is a fool." But Mr. Richard shook his head slowly. "No," he said quietly. "I am the fool." Chief Samuel looked surprised. Mr. Richard stared at his glass. "I lost my son because I valued money more than love. I pushed him away because I wanted control. Now I have everything, and I have nothing." Chief Samuel said nothing, because he knew it was true. 1 year passed. Michael and Mercy were still together. Their love had grown stronger. One Sunday morning, Michael knelt down in front of Mercy in their small room. "Mercy," he said softly, "I do not have a ring. I do not have money, but I have my heart. Will you marry me?" Mercy's hands flew to her mouth. Tears streamed down her face. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, Michael, I will marry you." Emmanuel jumped and clapped his hands. "Sister is getting married." They laughed and cried together. The next week, they went to a small church and got married. Only a few friends attended. No fancy decorations, no expensive food, just love. Pure, simple love. The pastor smiled as he joined their hands together. "What God has joined together," he said, "let no man put asunder." After the ceremony, they walked home holding hands. Mercy looked at Michael and said, "Are you happy?" Michael smiled. "I have never been happier." That night, they lay side by side on their small bed. The future was uncertain, but their hearts were full. Mercy whispered in the darkness, "Michael, whatever comes tomorrow, I want you to know that today was the happiest day of my life." Michael kissed her forehead. "Mine too," he said. "Mine too." But then, something happened that no one expected. One afternoon, Mercy was sweeping the compound when a woman approached her. The woman was dressed in expensive clothes. Her face was kind, but her eyes were serious. "Are you Mercy?" the woman asked. Mercy looked confused. "Yes, who are you?" The woman took a deep breath. "My name is Mrs. Victoria. I am from the Ministry of Social Welfare. We have been looking for you." Mercy's heart began to race. "Looking for me? Why?" Mrs. Victoria stepped closer. "Mercy, we have information about your parents, about who you really are." Mercy froze. "What do you mean?" Mrs. Victoria opened a brown envelope and pulled out some documents. "Your parents were not who you thought they were. The people who raised you adopted you when you were a baby." Mercy's legs felt weak. "Adopted? But they never told me." Mrs. Victoria nodded gently. "They did not know how to tell you. But before they died, they left a letter with a lawyer. The lawyer recently found us." Mercy sat down on the ground. Her hands were shaking. Who are my real parents?" Mrs. Victoria knelt beside her. "Your father was Chief Daniel Okafor. He was a very wealthy man. He passed away 5 years ago. But before he died, he made a will. He left everything to you." Mercy could not breathe. "What? No, that is not possible." Mrs. Victoria handed her the documents. "It is true, Mercy. You are the rightful heir to the Okafor fortune. You own properties, companies, and bank accounts worth billions of naira." Mercy stared at the papers. She could not believe it. She had been poor all her life, and now, suddenly, she was rich. When Michael came home that evening, Mercy was still sitting in the same spot. Her face was blank. Emmanuel sat beside her, looking worried. "Mercy, what is wrong?" Michael asked, rushing to her side. Mercy looked at him. Then she handed him the documents. Michael read them slowly. His eyes grew wide. "Mercy, this is real." She nodded. "Yes, I am not who I thought I was." Michael sat beside her. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Emmanuel watched them both, confused and scared. Then Michael said quietly, "Does this change anything?" Mercy turned to him. "What do you mean? Does this change how you feel about me?" he asked. Mercy's eyes filled with tears. "No, never." Michael held her hand. "Then it does not matter. Rich or poor, you are still my Mercy." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "But Michael, what will people say? What will your father say?" Michael paused. Then he smiled softly. "Let them say what they want. I chose you when you had nothing. I will choose you now, too." And in that moment, Mercy realized something powerful. Michael's love was real. It was not based on money. It was based on her heart. Emmanuel finally spoke. "Sister, does this mean we are rich now?" Mercy looked at her little brother and pulled him close. "Yes, Emmanuel. But more importantly, it means we are still family. Nothing will ever change that." The news spread quickly. Within days, everyone knew that Mercy, the poor pure water seller, was actually the daughter of Chief Okafor. Journalists came to interview her. People who once ignored her now bowed when they saw her. Camera flashes followed her everywhere. Mercy moved into her father's mansion in Victoria Island. It was even bigger than Mr. Richards' house. She brought Emmanuel with her. She also brought Michael. But Michael refused to live in luxury while doing nothing. "I will keep working," he told Mercy. "I do not want your money. I just want you." Mercy smiled. "I know. That is why I love you." The mansion staff were confused at first. They expected Mercy to be proud, to be demanding. But she was kind to everyone. She remembered where she came from. She still greeted the gateman. She still thanked the cook. She treated everyone with respect. One afternoon, Mercy received a visitor. It was Mr. Richard. He stood at the door, looking older, tired. His shoulders were bent. His eyes were sad. "May I come in?" he asked quietly. Mercy nodded. "Yes, sir. Please." They sat in the large living room. Mr. Richard looked around slowly. Then he looked at Mercy. The silence between them was heavy. Finally, he spoke. "I came to apologize," he said. Mercy was surprised. "Apologize? For what?" Mr. Richard's voice cracked. "For judging you. For trying to separate you from my son. I thought I knew what was best for him. But I was wrong." Mercy listened carefully. Mr. Richard continued, his hands trembling slightly. "I lost my son because of my pride," he said. "And now I see that you were exactly what he needed. You loved him when he had nothing. You stayed with him even when the world turned against him." Tears filled his eyes. "Please, forgive me. And please, let me see my son again." Mercy's heart softened. She thought about all the pain, all the rejection. But she also thought about Michael's face when he talked about his father. "Mr. Richard, I have never kept Michael from you. He is free to see you anytime. But you must accept us. Accept our love." Mr. Richard nodded. "I do. I accept it. I accept you. I was blind, but now I see. You are not just any girl. You are the woman who loved my son when he had nothing. That makes you more valuable than all the gold in the world." At that moment, Michael walked into the room. He stopped when he saw his father. "Father," he said quietly. Mr. Richard stood up slowly. "Michael, I am sorry. I am so sorry. I let my pride destroy what mattered most." Michael's eyes became wet. He walked slowly toward his father. Then he hugged him tightly. "I forgive you, Father. I have always loved you." Mr. Richard held his son and wept. All the pride, all the anger, all the emptiness melted away. And Mercy stood there, watching them with tears of joy. Emmanuel came running into the room. "What is happening?" he asked. Mercy smiled. "Something beautiful. We are becoming a family." Weeks later, Michael and Mercy had a grand wedding ceremony. This time, it was big. The whole city was invited. Mr. Richard stood beside his son as the best man. Emmanuel walked Mercy down the aisle. She wore a beautiful white gown, but her smile was even more beautiful. When Michael saw her, his heart stopped. "You are the most beautiful thing I have ever seen," he whispered. Mercy smiled. "And you are the bravest man I have ever known." They said their vows in front of hundreds of people. But in that moment, it felt like only the two of them existed. The pastor asked, "Do you, Michael, take Mercy to be your lawfully wedded wife?" Michael looked into her eyes. "I do. Today, tomorrow, and always." "And do you, Mercy, take Michael to be your lawfully wedded husband?" "I do," Mercy said. "With all my heart." After the wedding, Mr. Richard stood up to give a speech. He cleared his throat and spoke into the microphone. "I once believed that wealth was the most important thing in life. I believed that love was weak. But my son taught me something. He taught me that love is the strongest force in the world." He looked at Michael and Mercy. Michael left everything to be with Mercy when she had nothing. And now, God has blessed her with everything. But that is not what matters. What matters is that they chose each other. Not for money, not for status, but for love. The crowd clapped loudly. Mr. Richard smiled. "So today, I do not just gain a daughter-in-law. I gain a lesson in humility, in courage, and in love." Mercy stood and hugged him. "Thank you, Father," she whispered. Mr. Richard held her tightly. "No, thank you. Thank you for loving my son when I failed to support him. Thank you for showing me what true love looks like." Years passed. Michael and Mercy lived happily. They used Mercy's wealth to build schools for poor children. They opened shelters for orphans. They helped people who had no voice, no hope, no future. Mercy never forgot the days she sat under that tree selling pure water. She would sometimes visit that same spot and talk to young girls who sold water there. She would encourage them, give them money, and remind them that their current situation was not their final destination. Emmanuel grew up to become a doctor. He never forgot where he came from. He opened a free clinic in Nigerian, treating people who could not afford health care. Mr. Richard became a changed man. He spent his last years giving to charity and rebuilding his relationship with his son. He and Michael would sit together in the evenings, talking about business, about life, about regrets. One evening, Mr. Richard said to Michael, "I wasted so many years chasing money. I should have been chasing moments like this." Michael smiled and squeezed his father's hand. "We have now, Father. That is what matters." One evening, Michael and Mercy sat on the balcony of their home, watching the sunset. Grace rested her head on Michael's shoulder. Their two children, a boy and a girl, played in the garden below. "Do you ever regret it?" she asked. "Regret what?" Michael replied. "Leaving your father's house. Choosing me when I had nothing." Michael turned to look at her. "Mercy, you were never nothing. You were always everything." She smiled. "But if I had never inherited that money, would you still be happy?" Michael kissed her forehead gently. "Mercy, I was happy the moment I met you under that tree. The money did not change that. It just gave us the power to help others." Mercy closed her eyes. "I love you, Michael. I love you, too," he whispered. And as the sun disappeared beyond the horizon, their love remained, strong, real, unshaken. The story teaches us something powerful. Love is not about what you have. It is about who you are. Michael did not fall in love with Mercy because she was rich. He fell in love with her because she was kind, humble, and real. And when her secret was revealed, when the world discovered she was an heiress, it did not change their love. Because true love is not moved by money. It is built on respect, sacrifice, and truth. Many people judge others based on their appearance, their status, their background. But God sees the heart, and sometimes the person you think is beneath you is actually the one who will lift you higher. Mercy had nothing, but she had everything that mattered. And Michael saw that. He saw her heart when others only saw her poverty. He saw her strength when others only saw her struggle. So, never despise anyone. Never look down on someone because of where they come from. You never know who God has prepared to bless you. Kindness opens doors. Humility brings favor. And love, true love, conquers all. The same person you reject today might be the person you need tomorrow. The same person you ignore today might become the person who changes your life tomorrow. So tell me, what did you learn from this story? Share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to read from you. Another very interesting story will be uploaded in a few days. So, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell so you will be notified immediately I upload the next story. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends so others can also learn from it. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.